Tech and clips.
Yeah. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have Faouzia dropping this one a day ago. Desert Rose official audio. Now I know Desert Rose. I hope you know is the one I'm talking about. Desert Rose was originally performed by Sting. So I don't know if this is going to be she doing a cover to Sting's original, or there's a different Desert Rose. But I hope it's Sting's Desert Rose. So without wasting much time, without further ado, let's take a listen, guys. Yeah. Okay, so that is she performing Sting's Desert Rose. Guys, I'm sorry, but I'm taking this back from the beginning. This is going to be good. I can feel it. Ooh.
I wake in vain, yeah, I dream of love as time runs through my head. I dream of fire, those dreams are tied to a horse that'll never tie. And in the flames, her shadows play in the shape of a man's desire. This desert rose, desert flower, no sweet perfume ever touched me more than this. Dream of rain, dream of gardens in the deserts, and I wake in vain, I dream of love as time runs through my head. I dream of fire, those dreams are tied to a horse that'll never tie. And in the flames, her shadows play in the shape of a man's desire. This desert rose, each other veils a secret promise. This desert flower, no sweet perfume ever touched me more than this. هذه مدة طويلة وأنا نحوس أنا لا أصلي، وأنا نحوس أنا لا أصلي.
Damn, guys. Wow, guys. Wow, this was beautiful. I have to say. I mean, Faouzia, she really went in, on this Sting's original. I was actually hoping, it would be Sting's original, and voila. I mean, guys, I have to say, I really enjoyed listening to this cover. I have to say, she really killed it. First off, as always, Fauzia's vocals, it's definitely a powerhouse. The control, the agility, the emotion, it's all there. I mean, where Sting's a version, feels like a dream of desire and distance. Fauzia's delivery, makes it personal. Almost like she is living through the desert storm herself. I love how she started off breathy and haunting, then builds into those huge resonant bells that somehow never lose their clarity. The way she moves between her Arabic vocal runs and the Western phrasing is so seamless. You can definitely feel her Moroccan roots coming through proudly. But I mean, I feel like it never feels forced or ornamental. I don't know if that makes sense. I mean, so organic, and I mean, it's definitely who she is, I have to say. And those high notes, guys, they hit like a cry from the desert itself. Pure power, but full of grace. The instrumentation and the arrangement is also one aspect of the song which really impressed me. I mean, I was blown away by how the production goes in and honors the original Desert Rose, while still giving Fauzia's version its own heartbeat. The instrumentation, I love how it kept that in the Middle Eastern rhythmic pulse. The percussive, the puka hits, the reverb, soaked atmosphere. But I mean, it's a little more cinematic, and more dramatic, if you ask me. The synth pads, and layered vocals, build with sonic landscape, that I feel like it feels like you are standing in the middle of an endless desert at night. Wind swirling around, stars above. I love the fact that it's modern. I love the fact that it's emotional, and it definitely fits her vocal tone perfectly. Where Sting's version has that polished late '90s trance vibe, Fauzia's version feels more raw and spiritual. You can tell she's connecting to the roots of the song, not just covering it, but I mean reclaiming it through her heritage. I loved it. I definitely loved Fauzia's version, I have to say. I mean, knowing the original, I have to say, really helped a lot here, listening to the song, because now you can really appreciate how Faouzia, brings a feminine, deeply emotional twist, to it. The lyrics, this desert rose, whose shadows bears the secret promise, always carried that, sense of longing and a bit of mystery, but when Faouzia, sings them, there is a new kind of strength. It's not just yearning for love. It's like she is embracing both her culture and her individuality. In the same breath. It's almost empowering, like she is saying, "And the desert rose." I don't know if that makes sense, yes, but that's just my take on this performance. After listening to this one, I have to say, right now, Faouzia didn't just cover this song, Desert Rose. She transformed it, and I personally loved it. As someone who has already heard Sting's version, I honestly wasn't expecting to be this moved. I mean, she kept the spirit of the original alive, but injected her own identity, her own story, her own soul into this timeless classic. Vocally, I mean, she's unstoppable. Musically, I mean, it's fresh and yet respectful, and emotionally, it's transcendent. This performance definitely go in to remind me why I love hearing younger artists reimagine classics. When it's done right, it bridges the generations, and cultures, in such a powerful way. So now, that's just me. That's just my take. That's just my perspective about this performance by Faouzia. So now, I definitely have to ask you guys, if you've heard, Sting's Desert Rose, what do you think of Fauzia's version? Did it give you goosebumps like it did me, or do you prefer the original vibe, with Sting and Cheb Mami? Please, let me know down in the comment section. Yes, if you stuck with me to edit the video, I love you. I very much appreciate it all here. My name is Philip, and on to the next music reaction. Take care, stay safe. Peace out.